Yeah, let's go. This is Scott Savor with Uncommon Competitor, and I want to share with you another book that changed my life. Napoleon Hill's Positive Action Plan, 365 Meditations for Making Each Day a Success. Wow, here we go. There's some wisdom in here that's unreal. It is also imperative for you to realize that knowledge in itself is not power. It is only potential power. Great. The biggest gap in the world is the gap between people who know things and the people who actually do things about it, right? From what you learned to living it. Pay attention. It's a really, really big deal, please. Dependability is the first foundational stone of good character. Be dependable. Be dependable. Demonstrate to people effective things so they can count on you. You can tell by the company people choose what sort of character they have. Interesting. Hang out with dependable people who have character. Another thing. Politeness usually begins at home or it doesn't begin at all. That's why it's really important we hold each other accountable at the house first, personally first, and then let it trickle over into the professional part of what we do. You can't be exceptional professionally if you can't be exceptional personally first. It's a really big deal. If you choose to have more enemies than friends, the odds are 1,000 to 1 you have earned them. You may fool all the people some of the time. You could fool some people all of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. And it changed my life. You can't attract the people you want in your life until you know who you are and what you want and what you don't want in your life. That's why you have to spend lots of time intentionally figuring out who you are, your strengths, your non-strengths, things you're afraid of, all of that good stuff. And then you'll be able to demonstrate in a free way who you are, and you will attract other like-minded people. It gets really, really fun. High wages and the capacity to assume responsibility are two things that belong together. High wages and the capacity to assume responsibility are two things that belong together. So if you want higher wages, if you want to increase your value, assume a lot of responsibility. And just when you think you've assumed enough, assume more. When you cheerfully accept responsibility for your own actions and do your job in a way that protects the interests of your employer, you will soon be entrusted with more and more responsibilities. And those who have the capacity to assume responsibility for the success of the project or organization will always be paid the highest salaries. This is very, very clear. Very, very clear. The privilege of bringing children into the world carries with it the responsibility of teaching them fundamentals of sound character. I wonder how many people, before they have children, say, hey, do we have a plan? Do we feel really good about demonstrating to our children good, sound character? It's powerful. It's important. The person who works harder when the boss isn't around is headed straight for a better job. It is a foregone conclusion that you will never reach great heights of success if you perform at high levels only when others are watching you. The magic happens when you're alone, when you're doing things before or after you actually need to do what's required. When your expectations for yourself are higher than your boss's expectations for you, you will never have to worry about job security. If you work to your highest standards, the promotions will take care of themselves. Makes sense to me. Thank you, Napoleon Hill. Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action. Say yes to everything. Act on the things that are inside of your value system that you believe in, and don't stop ever. There are two kinds of people who never get ahead, and there are those who do only what they are told, and those who will not do what they are told. Game changers. It has been said that you should always work two jobs simultaneously. The one you have and the one you desire. Don't let anyone prevent the second piece. Don't let anyone, they'll help you with the first one. Yeah, they'll work your tail off, but will they help you on the job that you desire? Will they help move you towards that? Or will they just suffocate you in the current situation you're in? Far too many people spend more time planning their weekends than their lives. It's a big deal. If you are really great, you will let others discover this fact from your actions. Actions prove words are worth less. The secret of education lies in respecting the pupil. When you respect that every pupil that you work with, every person you're trying to educate, adult, child, whatever, is on a different curriculum than everyone else, right? Based on all of their experiences up until this last second, all of their socioeconomic influences, all of their personal upbringings, and you respect the pupil at a different level, education changes. Your effectiveness as an educator completely changes. Waste no words on a man who dislikes you. Actions will impress him more. Man, this stuff changed my life. Try telling your boss about the things you like and see how willing he or she will help you get rid of the things you don't like. We don't do that enough. We don't tell people the things that we really, really like at work to shed light on the things that we don't like. Making life easy for children usually makes life hard for them in adulthood. Be careful of trying to be your children's best friend. Be careful. Don't blame children who are bad. Blame those who failed to discipline them. It's not their fault. Everybody's got a choice. Everybody's got free will to a certain extent. But we don't get to choose who our parents are. That shapes us significantly. And there are no perfect parents. We know that. The most important job is that of learning how to negotiate with others without friction. Check yourself the last time you were in a conversation that involved indifference and or negotiation. And maybe check your heart rate. See where you're at. See if it involved friction. Changes everything. It's not what we accomplish, but how we handle the transitions that matter. When the company decides to pay me what I'm worth, then I will do what they want me to do. I'm going to be, hold on. I'm going to be the best I can be because that's the kind of person I am. Nobody else determines my motivation. And I also know that if I consistently give more than expected, I will eventually be rewarded for my efforts. Here's the wild card though. You have to be around the right people who pay attention with a high level of awareness. It doesn't happen in every case. You got to be around people with a high level of awareness. Thanks for listening. Wise persons are those who think twice before speaking once. Think twice, think it through again, and then speak once. It'll change your influence and your value unbelievably. Last one. Worry will kill you quicker than work. Be very, very mindful and very intentional about how much you let worry come into your life. It will crush you and it will kill you more than work will. Napoleon Hill, thank you so much. Positive action plan, 365 meditations for making each day a success. Changed my life. Scott Zavor, Uncommon Competitor. Have a great day.